Hello, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode of Weddings Unscripted. I'm Jenny Krauss, and this is my
Kaplan.
partner in crime.
And I feel like we need to comment on the fact that I'm in gym clothes.
And she never went to the gym.
I know. I had such good intentions.
She was in the parking lot.
I got close to running, and then I just got
Like,
overwhelmed.
but why did you even, so you went to the parking lot and then you turned around?
So granted, I usually park so I go running right near my child's school. So I was already there for this holiday thing this morning, and then I was going to go, but then I just got there was a whole other drama at preschool with my other kid's birthday cupcakes. So then I just had too much stuff going on in my mind that I was getting annoyed about, that I was like, I can't run right now. I can't focus. So then I just.
But that's when you should be. I mean, I'm thinking I
would
think I would need to run to get it out of my brain.
I couldn't enjoy my run, and I was just annoyed. And then I was like, I just want to get home and get cracking on work. So
right.
I did that instead. But maybe I'll do the elliptical later.
Right. You just keep that running outfit on and
till I finally get a workout.
Check in at the end of the day and let me know if it happened.
I will.
That'd be great. So we have a super awesome episode. If you watched our last episode, this is a spinoff. Mm-hmm. So today, Chris and I are going to dive deeper into our own personal journeys with business coaching and the investments that we've made, and were they worth it? What we've learned from it, the biggest takeaways we had from it. So, Kristin, I'll let you start. Okay. I know that you've done you've done some one-on-one coaching, you've done some group coaching. Yes. So, what was your first experience with investing in a coach? Period.
Well, I admit, I think I was like everyone, kind of leery in the beginning of this concept of oh, what am I really going to learn from a business coach? Because you think at the time I was several years in with studying events, and I was doing okay. I was working, hard. I was doing a lot of weddings. I was making money. And so there was a part of me that was kind of do I really need this? And it was actually, the decision to do it was actually because I was going to an event where Sean Lowe, who's in the wedding industry, and he's amazing, or he works with a lot of creatives, but specifically in the wedding industry, he was going to be speaking, and then they ended up canceling the event. And so because everyone had sort of already paid for it, they were like, you can use the money that you already paid for this event and apply it to working with Sean one-on-one. And I was like, all right, why not? Already paid it. Let's go. And so there was definitely some huge takeaways, because if you have ever watched Sean speak or read any of his blog posts, he is a hard hitter. He doesn't mess around. He gives it to you straight.
It's my kind of person.
Oh yes. So he flat out, kind of took a whole look at my business, and right off the bat was like, you do not have a clear ideal client at all. You need to niche down, seriously niche down and get real clear on, because you're trying to be way too jack of all trades, please everybody. And he was totally right. And that was definitely my biggest issue, because I was at that time where I was trying to increase my price and getting a little bit of pushback. And he was flat out that's why. He's like, you are never going to be able to charge what you need to be charging and do less weddings, because that was around that time where I was doing 30 weddings a year, and it was crazy pants. And he was like, you got to get real clear about who it is that you truly want to work with, and not be so scared of, turning everyone else away or not connecting with those other people, as long as you're connecting with the right people for you. And that was huge for me.
Isn't it amazing when someone else tells you to stop being scared?
Yeah. Get over it. And he also was get over raising your prices. He was the first person that was you need to jack up your prices a lot. And I remember being so scared, being I can't. And he was like, yes, you can. You need to. And that was kind of when I made my first big jump up in price. And kind of from working with him, in that session with him, I immediately invested more money into rebranding, and getting really clear on who that ideal target audience was and who I wanted to be going after.
And I gotta know, did the rebrand bring you more revenue?
It did. So I got super specific. It's everything from my copy, as Jenny knows, all those things that go into branding. I got real serious with it and launched a much more beautiful website, a much more cohesive and clear brand. I really understood who the types of clients I wanted to be working with were. And I jacked up my rates. And that was kind of my first big money year after that.
I remember when I first really came across you, as a wedding planner, I looked at your site and I was like, wow, she's like really clear on her ideal client. You had so many blogs, you know, speaking specifically to certain things. And it was really just, you know, at that time I was looking, you know, at wedding planning websites and stuff all the time by, you know, just all the clients I was working with. And I was really shocked to see like that really where you were in your business just from like the glance of your website. So I could tell that you were in a whole different kind of caliber. And I was like, that Kristin Kaplan,
she's doing all right.
She's my kind of client right there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really, you know, I was so worried about making my brand or my website or all these things look too different than other people's. Cause I actually at the time kind of created a site that was a lot more modern and a little more corporate almost in a way than a lot of other planners. But that's why I understood then who I needed to be working with. And I wouldn't have done that if it weren't for somebody else. Kind of being able to come in, and this is really what, you know, both of us feel is the value of business coaching is getting someone to look at your business in a way that you're not seeing and getting that view, because sometimes you're just too close to it and you're too in it and you can't see why something's not working, or you might have an idea but you're totally way off base,
right? Or you just think you're crazy, like you just need someone to validate. And not only, and it's not that coaching is just like telling you what you already know you need to do, but you know, then taking it those few steps further of, because a lot of people will have an idea of, I just need to do this one thing to, you know, really shift my business, but then they get paralyzed because they're not able to figure out how to do it or what the first step is.
Yeah.
And then you just get stuck, and guess what? Like you're still thinking about that same thing 12 months later when you could actually just work with someone who can say, oh yeah, like this is easy. You just need to do steps 1 through 5 in this order. Boom, boom, boom.
Go do it.
Go do it. And then somebody that's going to actually crack the whip on you.
Yes. That's helpful too.
I'm a whip cracker.
I know.
With my clients.
Whip crackers.
I had to start warning them.
You're like, I will tell you what you need to be doing and I will get on you if you don't do it.
I will hunt you down. My clients know. Yeah. If you're missing deadlines and you're not replying to emails, I'll hunt you down on Insta stories.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm like, I know you're on Insta stories.
Yeah, I know you got time because you're on Insta stories.
Right. Why aren't you replying to my emails? Because you set a goal and I'm holding you to it. And they're like, oh my gosh, I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a good, like, I just want to bring up real quickly too, and then we'll dive into kind of your experiences, Jenny. Coach is such a interesting word too. So there is, I mean, we're saying coaching, but like there's kind of a few branches of
coaching. Strategy, coaching, mindset shifting.
Yeah.
Voodoo making people, I don't know.
I mean, some people are way more into the woo-woo type of business coaching, and some are more into the logical, practical side. But that's kind of what the term we're using is sort of all encompassing for those things. But also just be careful because, again, as we kind of talked about last episode, anyone can call themselves a business coach.
There are certified coaches, which I'm completely 100% behind. But I do also believe that you can work with people that aren't certified. Yeah. Those who I feel like I'm just more comfortable using the word strategist because I'm not a certified coach, and I don't ever want to like take away from people that have really spent all that money to do all of, that. But I think, working with people that have that background, that backbone, and know what they're talking about because they've worked in a specific industry for so many years. Like you and I have worked in the wedding industry with, countless wedding industry clients actually implementing things in their business, seeing actual results, tried and true. I feel confident enough to say, I know what the heck I'm talking about. And I want to work with the same type of people that bring that to the table. So though, that's who I've personally invested in.
To make sure that, when you're kind of figuring out who to work with, the terminology can get a little weird. I sometimes think of coaches as a little more like cheerleaders, a little more, a little more woo-woo, a little more mindset-ish, and then strategists as a little more like nitty-gritty, practical business knowledge. And some people are like good at both.
Yeah. Like you have some people that will listen to what you're saying and then ask you specific things to help guide you in the path that you need to go on. And then there's people that'll just say, okay, this is the idea. Okay, this is your A to Z map.
Yeah, I think you need to be doing this.
Execute it.
Yeah, or I think you're not seeing that you're missing this, or they'll tell you straight up.
Right, and that's just my personal preference.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of like that as well. I think we're both in that area. So with that, why don't you tell us all about an experience you've had with kind of business coaching and strategy?
Yeah, so I think my first one was I did a group coaching program. So I did it with Heather Crabtree.
Where we met.
Chris and I met a little bit before that, but that's where we really
where we really got to know each other.
That's where we fell in love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Business love.
Yeah. I knew that I was ready to make this big transition in my business from my first business, the Wedding Concierge, from being like the girl behind that to transitioning into my personal brand. So I also feel like Kristin and I really related because we were on that same
We're kind of both doing that at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time of like coming out, not being afraid to show our knowledge, that we were worthy to be speaking about what we were speaking about, and just really needing some guidance on how I could make that happen. I was a new mom at the time. I had a 3-month-old. I wasn't sleeping, but I just knew I had to do something. So for all of you people saying that you don't have time, it's baloney. If you want to make something happen bad enough, it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. I carved out time. And I even had, a friend, I relied on a friend and I said, okay, I'm investing in this group coaching program. Can you come over to my house once or twice a week to help me with childcare? So I make sure that I'm going to do my homework because I wasn't going to throw this money away.
Yeah.
And so that was really important to me to make sure that I wasn't only investing monetarily, but I was investing actually implementing and doing it. So that's something that I would really tell anyone. No excuses. You can make the time if you want to actually do it. Don't do something if you're not going to make the time.
Exactly.
I feel like that really helped me from stepping out behind my TWC brand into my Jenny Krauss brand as a brand strategist. So that led me into my first full year doing only brand strategy. And then I feel like Kristin and I, that's when we really started to get clear on our mission and our vision for wedding business bosses, and that we really were better together and that we really were on the right path. And Heather was always such a good support for us, as a team. Yeah. Because she knew like we really were such a great fit, and she's, she still supports us so much to this day. So that was really instrumental, I think, for us to really have that light bulb moment of, okay, what are we going to kind of give up in order to go all in on
these new directions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where, I think for me as well, when going through the Savvy Business Circle was sort of my next transition, after several more years in weddings. And I was kind of feeling the itch to launch a personal brand and to speak more and to do all those things. And those opportunities were already starting to sort of come very organically to me, but I didn't quite know how to organize them and what to do with it. And that's kind of why I joined the Savvy Business Circle, was because Heather had kind of made the same transition herself several years back. She had gone from being a wedding planner into being a coach and a speaker and a mentor and all of that. And so I figured, who better to learn from and work with than someone who's been through the same journey I'm kind of navigating right now. And just like Ginny, it was kind of, I think, first of all, obviously it allowed us to meet and to start, really thinking about how we could team up to help the wedding industry even more. And it was the first time I think it allowed me to not feel like that imposter syndrome of like, oh, I can't be a speaker, or, oh, I can't be a leader. Like, and Heather was really instrumental of being like, no, you absolutely can. Like, you have plenty of knowledge, you have plenty of experience. Like, there's no reason you shouldn't be out there teaching people the stuff that you know. And I needed that kick in the pants for sure.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I got that from her.
I mean, and alone, like the sisterhood we went through that program 2.5 years ago now.
Still talk to a lot of those girls.
And we still talk to our girls on a regular basis. We meet up in person. I honestly couldn't be doing business without that group of girls. Like it's just ridiculous how I ever did anything before having a true sisterhood in business.
So true. And so that's something, if you're considering a group coaching program, and we're going to dive into like mastermind separately in a future episode, but if you're considering group coaching, instead of just working one-on-one with a coach, like that's something else, a bonus that you're going to gain is you won't just get, the encouragement and everything else from whoever the leader or leaders of the group are, whoever your mentor is. But with group coaching, you also get that same wide angle view, but from a whole bunch of other people as well. And
you're in it with people who are also at the point where they also want to invest in their business.
Yes. So they'll take it seriously.
So that is a whole different ball game when you are only in a pot of people who have also put their money where their mouth is.
Yep.
And then you can really support and encourage each other because, it's a high stakes game at that point. You're all pulling money out of your pocket to be there.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
We both got a ton out of the Savvy Business Circle with Heather Crabtree. And so we both experienced like one-on-one coaching, but also group coaching and really seen great benefits from that. So
yeah, absolutely. And then I worked one-on-one with a biz strategist, Nevica Vasquez. I've hired her twice now.
You really like her. We love
her. So so once I got clear that I was moving into the personal brand, she is who I worked one-on-one with after the group coaching program, because she helped me get clear on my services, really what I was going to house under my personal brand, and just pushing me to launch that out into the world. And then she really helped me with my pricing strategy as well, and really showed me, and she continues to tell me, how much value I give. Like every time I launch a brand, she is the first person to comment. She is the first person to send me a text message that says, "Oh my gosh, you nailed it. You did such an awesome job." And, just having someone in my corner like that knows from the beginning, like that I can truly trust in my business. She knows my journey from me being 100% afraid to put myself out there to me going into 2018 feeling like the work I'm putting out is better than ever and I am ready to freaking own it. That's just incredible.
Yeah. Again, it's that outside perspective that having someone and that's something that I think sometimes we go into it thinking we're focused so much on with something like coaching, what's the educational component or the knowledge that I'm going to gain, or the specific tactics I'm going to gain. But oftentimes what you gain most is like huge mindset shifts, and you're able to conquer fear in a way that you've never been able to do before because you've got this other person who's cheering you on and who's, helping you through that and being able to point out where you might be having these blocks and these, issues that are holding you back. And so that outside perspective is so huge.
There's nothing like someone giving you a virtual slap in the face.
Exactly.
And saying, "Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey.
Get out of this mess."
Yeah, no, this is what you need to be doing. Totally. Right. And I always love the analogy too. I think Hillary Rushford was the first place that I heard it, of thinking of coaching sometimes like a football coach on a football field. There's a reason they put coaches in the stands on the 50-yard line, and they are radioing back to the coaches on the field because they can see that wide angle view of the entire game. And that gives them a unique perspective that the people that are right on the field or the players just don't have. And I think that's a great way to look at a coach, is someone that's going to come in and give you not only some, great advice in their own opinions, but they're going to be able to look at your whole business with that wide angle view because they aren't too attached to it and so deep into it and so emotionally invested in it. and say like, okay, I think this is where you could be, you know, doing something else, or let's get you out of this over here. Let's work on your pricing, or let's work on this strategy, or whatever that may be. And that's totally invaluable.
Right. Absolutely. So if you're thinking about joining a group coaching program, working with someone one-on-one, I hope that this is something that we've been able to, you know, help inspire you or guide you by, you know, just from our own experiences, because it's really important to think about what you really need and who you're going to actually, you know, learn from, what you're going in. You know, sometimes one-on-one coaching is better in certain situations, and sometimes group coaching is better in other situations. So just kind of like weighing it all there. So
absolutely. We hope that this was helpful to you. And if you're, you know, thinking about 2018 being the year that you get serious about coaching, especially group coaching, we'd love for you to check out the Wedding Business Academy, because we are going to be opening it back up real soon. So be sure that you go over to our website, weddingbusinessbosses.com, and you can sign up for our email list to get more information.
Absolutely. So we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.